Welcome, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of A Listen with Les. I'm Les Traeger, your host, and I am an assault trauma transformational guide. And I'm here to give you different perspectives and skills each week to help you along whatever path you're walking so that you can create for yourself peace and love and connectedness and confidence and support and community. And also so that you can relieve yourself of fear, of loneliness, and of suffering so that you can once again live on the center stage of your life where your vitality and your passion and your purpose resides. This is a safe place, a moment, 20 minutes on a Tuesday where we can all take off our hats and our masks too, and find the space within our own hearts that's truly real to us, where we can share what we're really thinking and what we're really feeling without any fear of being judged, because I'm not judging. And no one else in this community is either. I want it to be a safe place for you, a safe place that you can call home, a break in your day to revitalize your energy, to remind yourself of your own very, very, very great self-worth, to remind yourself how much you love you. Because really, that's where it all starts. And that's where today's episode is also going to start. I'm going to put on my glasses for just a minute. I normally like to go ad lib, but I have just a little bit of an outline that I want to make sure I get a few points in. So today, we're talking about how we manage to look outside of ourselves for the love that we're looking for. And we often define ourselves, in fact, by exactly that. If I am getting the attention, the appreciation, right, the affection and the acceptance of those people close to me in my life, then I must be lovable. And when we don't get the 4 A's, as I like to call them, attention, affection, appreciation, and acceptance from those people around us, we can have a tendency to play what I like to call a movie of me. We can play our own little movie in our head about how unworthy we are, right? Or how we don't really deserve those attributes that our heart so desperately wants to feel. It's over here. So I want to, and we're all looking for this, right? We're all looking for those 4 qualities in some form or another by the people in our lives. When we don't get it, what happens? So here's how you can figure out for you, are you getting these things or are you not getting these things? So if you are not getting the appreciation and the acceptance and the affection and the attention from the people you care about most, then you will notice that you often get triggered by those people. And that trigger could be that you feel resentful. They're saying something, or they're doing something, or they're not saying something, right? Or they're not doing something. And you might feel that resentment tickle come in. And that affects then how you respond to that person for the rest of the day. You might get triggered with anger. You might get triggered with fear. You might get triggered with being judgmental, right? Or just being annoyed. What does it mean when these things happen? Well, when you notice a part of someone else that you dislike, this is often your trailhead to answering this very important question for yourself. And that question is, What is it within me that I need to heal? Because I will tell you, my friends, it's never them, it's always me. If we spend our lives saying the problem is out there with them, then we will never solve our challenges because we're looking in the wrong place. It's never them. It's always us. It's me. I can say, it's me. I'm the one that has a problem here, right? And then I can ask myself, why am I not loving myself enough? Or how can I show myself love in this situation right now, in this situation right here where I am triggered? Let's use an example of a family member is upset with you and it's triggering you. What would happen if you asked yourself, what can I do in this moment that would be loving to myself in this situation? So rather than a family member triggers you, now you're angry, you're resentful, you're annoyed, right? You're afraid, whatever it is. Rather than focusing on what you are so annoyed about, we switch our focus to what could I do for myself in this situation right now that would be loving to me? Right? Just hold on to that for just a minute, because that's a really different kind of space to involve your brain and your heart in. And you will come up with a different answer than your go-to, which is, I'm annoyed, and this is how I normally act when I'm annoyed, and I'm going to act the exact same way as I did yesterday, last year, 20 years ago. You get my drift, right? I think you do. Okay. You can ask yourself, where the minute you find that you're judging someone else, the question you need to be asking isn't what's wrong with them. The question you need to be asking is, how am I judging myself this harshly? Because whatever we're doing out there, whatever we're saying, whatever we're doing out there to the people around us, we really need to flip the mirror and turn it all back to what am I responsible for? What can I do on my side of the street to help myself love myself more in this challenging situation? This is where the magic happens, my people. This is the place. We can also ask ourselves, why am I trying to be so perfect? Right? So everybody has a bad day. And I guarantee you that the people close to you, the ones you love the most, if they're having a bad day, because they trust you, because they're comfortable with you, if they're going to outwardly reflect the badness of their day, it's going to be with you. And that might mean you get triggered. You might get triggered by the level of annoyance they're feeling. You might get triggered by the level of anger, frustration, fear, whatever, resentment they're feeling as they voice what they're feeling. And in those moments, that's when we say, what can I do right now in this moment to love myself more? Now, the more, so as we go back to attention and affection and acceptance and appreciation, when we're looking for that out there and not getting it, there's usually one very good reason, and that is we're not giving ourselves attention. We're not giving ourselves appreciation. We're not accepting ourselves. And we are not, I think that we are not showing ourselves affection. So the place to start, if that's what you're looking for in life, I want to feel acceptance. I want to be appreciated. I want to feel attention and affection. then the place to start is by offering those things every single day to yourself. We have to learn how to satisfy our own needs here as adults in the world. The moment we look to somebody else to satisfy our needs is usually the moment that we get leaky somewhere. And what does that mean? That means that we lose the energy that we have. We lose our resilience. We lose our power. It would be like having a hole in your gas tank when you're driving a car. You wouldn't get very far, even if you kept filling the gas tank up every 10 minutes, because all of the power would be leaking out. How do we plug up our own leaky holes? You've got it, by giving ourselves attention, affection, appreciation, and acceptance. Yes, that is what we are trying to do. And the more you fill yourself up, fill up the parts of yourself that need these 4 qualities, the more that you do that, the more you will attract those qualities into your life by the people who are closest to you, or by new people that you meet. Because when others see that we can take care of our own basic needs, when others see that we are psychologically and emotionally sound and we can go through uncomfortable emotions and we can learn how to satisfy the needs of the heart, and these are the 4 needs of the heart that we're talking about today, then the more apt they are to want to, they want to be closer to you, because you're really not asking anything of them. You're not overburdening somebody else. You're not saying, I need you to make me whole. We're already whole. Everything that you need in life is within you right this very moment. Everything you need. Just imagine that. It's just a matter of acting. It's a matter of identifying where we are not giving ourselves those things, and then choosing ways to give ourselves those qualities of the heart that we so crave from everyone else around us. So many of us go through life doing this the wrong way. We're always looking out to them. Why aren't you spending more time with me? Let's say it's a partner in your life, right? So when I had a partner, I don't have one now, but when I had a partner, my partner was a very busy human being, and there wasn't a lot of extra time. And my questioning could have been, why aren't you spending more time with me? Why aren't I more important to you? Right? I could go down that route. All of the not enoughness is, that I might want to bring out. But rather than doing that, I could also choose to say, okay, I have time to go satisfy my own needs now. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm not talking about being unfaithful to our partners, to the people we love the most. No. But we can certainly find ways to show ourselves the affection, the attention, the appreciation, and the acceptance that we are so looking for from other people. And how? How can we do that? Well, first of all, let's look at acceptance. With acceptance, we can say, I accept the way I am right now. And I love all the parts of me right now, just the way I am, even though I am imperfect. And for those of you out there who right now might be thinking, oh yeah, it's easy for her to say that, I want you to know that I learned this lesson at a time when I was bedridden with 24-hour care and told I would never, ever recover. And I had to learn how to love myself, my body, even though it couldn't work for me anymore. And as a professional athlete, that was a really hard challenge for me. I had to go through hating myself for a little while first, until I saw the direction that took me into, which was not a good one. And when I accepted everything about me as if it was just perfect, right? These are my hands. At that time, I could use this finger right here, but not the other 9. And I got to the point where I could say, that's just perfect. I can use one finger. How did I get there? I spoke to somebody who couldn't use any fingers. And then I realized how lucky I was that I could use just one. Perception. We change our perception to change our world. We change our thinking so we can change our world. This is what I'm talking about here. And this is how we recover from assault trauma. This is how we do it. It all starts with you. It all starts with you. All you need is to know how. So let's look at the others. Attention. If someone else is not giving you enough attention and you want more attention and you're feeling like you're not getting enough attention, I'm just checking the time. Oh, good. Give yourself some attention. What is it that you truly need to be feeling? Remember, life is about what we're feeling. It is not about the movie of me up here that we have in our head about who we are. And it is not about our thoughts. But what are we really feeling inside? What kind of attention can I give myself today so that I can feel better? So let me tell you a few ways that I give myself attention. I might notice that I'm tired, and so I'll take a nap. That is paying attention to myself and my own needs. I might realize, okay, I need to have a little social time with somebody. May not be my partner, so I'm going to call a friend and I'm going to enrich another relationship that won't threaten my, whatever relationships I'm in right now. We have many different kinds of relationships. And for us to think that any one person could truly satisfy all of our needs is just a little bit of a myth when you look at it in terms of who out there can satisfy all my own needs. Because we know that we can satisfy all of our own needs. That's what we're built to do. We might not have been trained to do that in our lives, especially as women. Often women are not trained to satisfy their own needs, but we are innately capable of doing it. And so we have to learn how. So it might be that I need a little attention. I want to feel special. So maybe I make a special beverage for myself. I don't drink alcohol, but that doesn't mean that I can't create a little special, pretty something and put it in a pretty glass and drink it and feel really special about it, right? There are so many ways that we can show our own selves attention. Now, appreciation. We all love to be appreciated. And when we don't appreciate ourselves, we're basically giving those around us the free ticket to also not appreciate what we do. When we show appreciation to ourselves first, and we come out in life in that form, I am appreciated because I appreciate me, then others will follow. And how can we show appreciation for ourselves? Well, how about bedtime, right? If we appreciate ourselves, we want to feel good and we want to feel healthy, then showing ourselves appreciation would mean tending to our needs in a way that help us flourish and grow. That would mean that we're not going to go into denial. We're not going to go into responsiveness. We're not going to go into people pleasing. We're not going to go into, let's say, taking care of everyone else's needs but our own. That is people pleasing. Instead, we're going to do something that we would prefer someone else do for us, but we're going to do it for ourselves just to see how that feels. Now, maybe we want to buy flowers, right? In today's world, I live in a metropolitan city. I'm outside of Philadelphia. There are plenty of places I can buy a really beautiful bouquet of flowers for $9.99. And that's the way I show myself appreciation. Even if I'm on a really tight budget, I can find $10 somewhere and say, I'm not going to spend that $10 at Starbucks this month. Instead, I'm going to make coffee at home and buy myself flowers and put them next to my bed or put them on my dining room table or in my living room so that every day that I come home, I can see beautiful flowers. Think about how wonderful it feels when somebody buys you flowers. You feel so special. Well, I'm only here inviting you to make yourself feel special. Because when we feel special on the inside, people out there, they're like, ooh, what's special about her? I want her. Trust me, this stuff works. So heed to this advice. All right, so we've done appreciation, we've done attention, affection. How can I show myself affection if I'm not getting affection out there in the world? And affection's a big one. We are mammals. We need to be hugged. We need to be touched. We need it. That's part of our biological makeup. So if we don't have people in our lives that are doing that, how can we give those things to ourselves? Well, let me tell you, we can hug ourselves and we can squeeze our arms and I just love you. I love you. I can look in the mirror just like this and you can laugh at me, but I'm going to ask you to try it at home anyway. Go in front of your mirror at home and, a full length mirror and just look at yourself. Oh, honey, I love you so much. And you be the one to give yourself the pat on the back. You be the one to rub your fingers through your hair, touch your own neck, give your body a rub, right? Nice big hug. I love myself so much. I'm so proud of myself. I'm so proud of myself for how I handled a situation, or I'm so proud of myself for sticking to my diet, or I'm so proud of myself for exercising like I said that I would, or I'm so proud of myself for learning how to respond instead of react. We can do this for ourselves, right? So we've gone attention, we've talked about appreciation, we've talked about acceptance, and my brain just isn't what it used to be. I gotta go look for that last word because I'm already like in other things up here. We talked about attention. We talked about affection. We talked about appreciation. We've talked about all of them already. That was fast. So this is my challenge to you. Okay? You write down one way, just one, in all of those what one way can you show yourself affection? I gave you the example of being in a mirror and laughing at yourself, but giving yourself some hugs and some pats on the back and some really positive self-talk as you're looking into your own eyes. But you can pick something else. Pick something else that makes you feel like you appreciate you. That might be as simple as I am going to wake up when the alarm goes off in the morning because I appreciate myself. And I know that if I wake up on time, and I take my time, that I'm going to have a better day. That's no different from your partner waking up, and when you wake up, your partner is bringing you a cup of coffee. I appreciate you. They're bringing you a cup of coffee in bed. That's such a lovely thing. I used to have a friend who did that for me. Well, that person's not around anymore. So guess what? I brought my coffee service upstairs to my room, and in the morning, I make coffee and I still have my coffee cup in bed. I can still appreciate myself just as much as somebody else did. These are just easy tips that can shift your day from being in a negative place to being in a positive place. And that's what we're all trying to do, isn't it? We're all just trying to feel a little bit better, right? We're all trying to feel a little bit more confident. We're all trying to feel a little more understood, a little more love. We're all trying to feel more love. The way to it is to offer it to yourself first. And here I've given you 4 ways that you can work with your own heart to shower love upon you. And if you do these things, and they're habits, that means that if they're new to you and you start one, and maybe this is the easier way to do it. I like taking really slow, sustainable steps in my work. So start with one if you would, because success is everything, but we want to be successful. We've got to choose small goals so we can ensure we're successful at meeting them. So perhaps just choose one thing you want to add to your life, and write it down on a piece of paper right now. One thing that will either give you attention, appreciation, affection, or acceptance. You could write down one thing for each category or write one thing down in one category. You choose a goal that works for you and start doing that one thing. If you do it for 30 days, you're on a good roll. If you do it for 60 days, you're almost completely there. It takes around 67 days to successfully maintain a new habit. Do it for 67, 68 days, you are changing your life. So I hope that you enjoyed today's episode of A Listen with Les. You can reach out to me on any of the forums you're watching me on right this very minute. I'm here. I do private one-to-one coaching and group coaching. And I would love to be able to work with you. If you have any questions for me, reach out and ask them. My website is evolvebeyondtrauma.com. It's under a little construction right now, but you can still go there and book a call. Just know there's a bit of construction happening, so it might not all look perfect in this moment. But if all you're looking for is to book a call with me, well, that's an easy thing for you to do there. Or reach out to me here. I am so thrilled in this time of great need that I can be of service to so many people out there in the world. And I've actually helped so many people at this point that I offer a money-back guarantee on working with me. I have never had a client who was not fully satisfied with the time they've spent with me. So I hope, again, that you enjoyed this little bit of insight. I look forward to seeing you on my next episode of A Listen with Les, and I wish you a beautiful day filled with inner joy, with inner belief, with inner trust, with self-love, and with appreciation for all that you do. I'll end with this one quick thing because I think it's so interesting, and I think we all feel this way. One of my children, it was recently my birthday, and one of my children, we went out to dinner for my birthday, and she insisted on paying, and she said to me, "Mommy, you do so much for me. I really want," she's working now, she's on her own, right? "I really want to take you out for dinner." And she actually bought me like a real adult gift too. And my first thought was, I don't do nearly enough for you, my sweetheart. But in her mind, I do so much for her. So that's my way of not seeing my own benefits. We all have the same challenges around these subjects, and we can all do a little bit better. So I'm doing a little bit better, and I hope that you're doing a little bit better too. And I look forward to seeing you next week. See you then. Bye-bye.